Six, good morning, and how are you today? I trust you're doing good. And how have your math lessons been? How's the lesson of yesterday? I saw your messages saying that you really understood, and I am so happy to know that. Today, we're going to be looking at Unit 4 of our lesson that we've been studying, Lesson 12. Let's get our student book, page 224 to 225, as we have this lesson. We'll be looking at finding the perimeters of compound shapes. Remember, we've been looking at perimeters and we've also seen uh, areas, but then we only looked at perimeters and areas of rectangles and squares. But this time around, we'll be looking at compound shapes. So let's see what it is about. Now, before we begin the class, let us have this quick warm-up activity. The question says, how do we find the perimeter of a square? We've seen the perimeter, tried to calculate the perimeter of a square in our previous lessons and for that of a rectangle. So let's test our knowledge. Like I always say, get a pen and get your book. Write the answer down. We're going to try to see what the answer is, but then just try to get your books and your pens or biros and write down and see if you get the answer right. Okay, so how do we find the perimeter of a square? Just write the formula. It's a simple one, not more than 2 or 3 letters or something. And then the second question says, how do we find the perimeter of a rectangle? So write down your answers in 10 seconds before we continue the lesson. So I'll give you a little bit of time, 10 seconds. We have 8 seconds more, 6 more, 4 more, 2 more seconds, and time up. Okay, now let's see the answers and we compare it with the one you wrote. To find the perimeter of a square, the answer is side times 4. To find the perimeter is to add up all the sides of a square or a rectangle. So it's side times 4 to find the perimeter of a square, or you can simply say side times side plus side plus side plus side. That adds the all sides of a square together. Now what about a rectangle? Is it different? 2 multiplied by length plus width. It is still the same thing as saying 2 multiplied by length plus 2 multiplied by width. And it's still the same thing to say length plus width plus width. Imagine the shape of a rectangle. 2 opposite sides are the same. So it means we have 2 numbers actually on a rectangle. So add up all the sides. We have 2 numbers that are the same. The other 2 numbers are the same. So add up all the numbers together to find the perimeter. So perimeter is about adding up all the sides outside a shape and adding it up to get the perimeter. That's what it is all about. All right, let's get to the lesson now. Perimeters of compound shapes. This shape we have here is a compound shape. Okay, now from this shape, can you see that it's like a letter L? It's an L shape, but from this we can make a full rectangle. Now let me say this: when you're finding the perimeter of shapes like this, please bear in mind that you're not looking for anything outside what you have here already. You don't need to go search any other place. Everything you need to find your answers is right in this shape. We have about 6 sides. We have side A, which is 15 meters, B is 75, C is not known, D is 15 meters, E is 10 meters, and F is also not known. Now, what do we do when we have a shape like this? The first thing we do is we try to close up the shape to make it a full rectangle. How do we do that? Close it up from where line D ends, and join it to where line A begins, just like this. Can you see the dotted lines? Okay, so now it's like we have a full rectangle. And remember, a rectangle has two opposite sides equal. The same thing is applicable in a shape like this. That's when you put you complete the line and make it a full rectangle. Now, let us see what next we can do. Can we find side C? Let's try to find side C. Now, this is where we have side C. It runs from the top all the way down to the bottom this way. Do we have an opposite side for side C? Let's trace it down to the end of our rectangle at the right or the left side, side A. Can you see side A? Side A is 15 meters. Actually, they are supposed to be opposite sides, but side A is running only halfway, while side C is running all through till the end. So what do we need to do to find the missing side? The completed side of side A, that's this part where the arrow just came in, is 15 meters. Now look, we need to complete this little side. We need to find what this little side is to be able to know what side C would also be. So how do we now find this little portion of rectangle here? What we do is this. Can we trace this little line as well towards the right? Can we trace it? Let's trace it down to where we have line E. Can you see line E? All right, now line E seems to be 10 meters, and definitely line E is on the opposite side of the small portion that we are looking for. So what are we going to do? What we need to do is, now since side E is 10 meter, definitely the little portion we are looking for is also 10 meter because it's opposite, it's on the opposite side of side E. So how do we then find the whole portion? That's the entire side. The entire side is going to be 15 meter plus 10 meter, and that gives 25 meter. If the whole side, side A down to the end, is 25 meter, then side C also must also be 25 meters. So now we've been able to find, we've been able to find side C by adding line A to line E. Do you see that's quite easy? All right, let's find F rather. We're going to find line F. Now to find line F, can we look up at line B? Line B, the entire side is 75 meters. Now we have line D to be 15, and then if we run it through to the end, it should also measure up to 75. So what then do we do to find this little portion left? That's side F. The only thing we need to do is subtract 75 from 15. That's line B minus line D. So line B minus line D is 60. That will give us our line F. And line F is 60 meters. Now to find the perimeter is to add all of the sides together. So let's do the adding. A plus B plus C plus D plus E and plus F is 200 meters. So it means the perimeter of this compound shape is 200 meters. Now let's also see a student book in page 225. The student book, page 225. This is a computer and it's Padma's computer. The width is 22 centimeters and the length 30 centimeters. Now it's asking for the perimeter. Remember, we've done this several times. This is asking for the perimeter of a rectangle. Length plus length plus width, or 2 times length plus 2 times width. So let's find the perimeter. We already have the boxes there for us to fill in. So it's 2 times length plus 2 times width. Great job. Then it's equal to 2 times 30. 30 is the width, is the length, remember? Plus 2 times 22. 22 is the width. So we fill in the numbers for the length and the width. 2 times 30 is 60 and 2 times 22 is 44. Now let's add the two together to find the perimeter. We have 104 centimeter. This is the perimeter of the computer. Now let's try the last example. All right, let's also take this example from student book, page 226. We're asked to find the perimeter of this shape. It's also an L shape. Do you see it's just similar to the first one we did? Now this has 6 sides and we have line A to be 3 centimeter, line B to be 5 centimeter, line C is not known, line D is 6 centimeter, E is 4 centimeter, and F is also not known. Now let's find side C. Now we already know how to find the missing side, so it should be so easy. Close up the open part of the rectangle and make it a full rectangle. That's the first thing to do. Now let us find side C. Side C is going to be side E minus side A. Of course, you know the reason for that. Side E measures the full length of the side. Side A measures only up to a portion. It doesn't get to the top. So to find the remaining parts, we need to trace the line to where we have side C. So the remaining portion of side C must definitely be 1 centimeter. So that if we add 3 centimeter of line A to 1 centimeter of line C, we will get 4 centimeter in total. Then in that way, line A to the end will be 4 centimeter, and line E, the total side, will also be 4 centimeters. Now let's find side F. What do we simply do? Line B plus line D. That's how we find side F. Line B plus line D. That's the one that runs through to the end. So remember, to find C is E minus A. So E minus A is 1 centimeter. That's 4 minus 3. And F is 5 centimeter plus 6 centimeter. And that gives us 11 centimeters. Now let's find the perimeter. Our perimeter is going to be 3 plus 5 plus 1 plus 6 plus 4 and plus 11. And the total is 30 centimeters. So the area of this shape is 30 centimeters. So that was quite easy, right? What did we learn today? We have learned how to calculate perimeters of compound shapes. We saw how we can find the missing sides by connecting the lines together and tracing where we have the opposite angle. And we simply just find the missing sides and calculate the total perimeter. All right, do the workbook in page 202 to 204. You don't have to struggle to finish it. Just try, relax, and see the ones you can solve, and we'll try to see the ones we can assist you with from the Zoom class. So we have another class tomorrow again, students. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and have a good day.